I got a real big problem with dudes who claim they got led on by a woman and they start crying about that shit, bro. They start crying about the hoe, right? Well, the thing is, like, if you were led on by this woman, she sold you a dream, you bought it, and you guys thought you guys were gonna go all the way, and it didn't happen, and then you start crying. Okay, first of all, nothing wrong with crying, but it's when you're crying relentlessly without trying to look for a solution and trying to get better. You start crying and you're not trying to fix your situation. What did she lead you to? She didn't. You were gonna imagine if it would have worked. If it would have worked, it wouldn't have worked because she led you on to a pit of despair. You see what I'm saying? Like if it would have worked, you guys would have got into like a relationship. If you're over here crying about this inconvenience, the bigger parts of the relationship, you wouldn't even last. This is me being honest, bro. You wouldn't even last. You would have been, dude. You would have been a wreck. And when you start crying, when you feel super emotional about these things, you would just let anything go on because you're trying to preserve this relationship. So you start saying okay to things that you normally wouldn't say okay to. You start to lose yourself. Now you're looking like a shell of a man. Now I'm telling you, don't misconstrue for what I'm saying is that emotions are bad. I'm saying a lot of how you deal with things and how you react to disappointments, tragedies, whatever is going to tell you a lot about who you are as a person. So if something bad happens or you're something inconvenient, something disappoints you, and you start crying all over the place like a baby all the time without trying to get better, without looking for better days, chances are, feel that, bro. That's how you're gonna get better. But you weren't ready. You were not ready at all. And I need you to know that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just know if it were to work, it wouldn't have. It would have been setting you up for an even greater failure because life has a weird way of like humbling you, giving you a reality check. You would have been so much worse. Imagine she does some shit. Now you're just over there crying even worse. Dude, I feel like if you were to cry over some shit like that, like being led on for something like that, like something crazy, and again, crying like there's no hope, you probably would accept cheating if there was a way you can save the relationship. You would probably tolerate that shit to keep her there longer. I'm telling you, I'm trying to really think of the way to describe this difference I'm saying and just crying versus whatever the hell that was. When you're sobbing about that shit, you're not trying to figure out how to get better, what you did wrong. You're not thinking about how it's better days. You're just trying nonsensically. It's like, I don't know why she could do that to me. Why would she do that to me? You're asking all these questions. Why? You're not ready yet. Sometimes that's just how shit happens. Now, if you cry, you wipe your tears and you get back up. There you go. Nobody's saying tears are a bad thing. Right? Hey, things happen. Life is hard. There's times where I don't want to be here. But if you cry, I need you to get up 2 times as fast. However long you've been crying, I need you to get up off that ground. You can't sit on the puddle of your own tears. You got to get up 2 times as fast. I don't want to hear none of that. Oh, she led me on. We were supposed to have it all. I don't care what anybody's told you as a man, bro. You always expect shit to go south. You never get too comfortable in any of that shit because you know if you get too comfortable, that's when things start falling apart anyways. It's just like whenever you're trying to announce a relationship prematurely, that's when the relationship starts falling over or falling apart. You know what I'm saying. It's just it drives me crazy when I hear the thing where people say I've been led on. But what I pay attention to more than what that quote is, I pay attention to how they react to them being led on. What did you do when you found out this information? Did you sit in a pit, just feeling sorry for yourself, seeking sympathy from everybody, and just not even trying to be a better version of yourself after that? You're not using this to fuel your new lifestyle. You're just crying all the time because of the shit. Or are you crying, acknowledging how you feel and how you feel messed up because of this, but you're gonna keep on moving? I pay attention to those kinds of reactions. And I'm telling you, every disappointment, every tragedy you suffer is going to tell you if you're ready for something. And if you have a bad reaction to something, that tells you you have more work to do. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. We all have different points in time. If a woman were to lead you on how you should react typically, damn. If you really liked her, bro, it's okay to cry. You can cry, bro. But while you're crying, I want you to say, this isn't the end of me. I'm bigger than this situation. We're gonna have better days. Time will heal. I don't want you crying with all this negative self-talk saying, I don't know how I can live anymore. I don't know if I could do this anymore. I don't know if I could keep on going, bro. She was the only one for me. Miss me with that, bro. Honestly, miss me with all of that. You're better than that. You need to start acting like it. It this is your canon. This is your canon event. You have that bad reaction where you feel like you're not going to be able to move on from this, and you take that in about a year's time. You're looking back at that shit and you're crying, a laughter because of how ridiculous that shit was. You didn't get led on. She low key did you a favor. You weren't ready for that shit, man. Come on, man. You're over here crying over this shit, over this weak shit. You weren't ready for what's to come after that. You need to prop yourself up and you need to learn how to really manage your emotions a lot better. Like I said, I can't reiterate this enough. There's nothing wrong with crying. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging your emotions. In fact, a lot of things go wrong when you refuse to acknowledge your emotions, when you start to push it down. But use those emotions that you feel in whatever interaction you're having as an opportunity to learn and grow from it, not to be held down. Dude, there's this cringy ass quote that I hear all the time. It's literally um turn your L's into lessons. And when I first heard that shit in what early high school, I hated that because it sounds so corny. It sounds so corny. But I was like, low key, that shit hit. That shit hit. Just a little quick video. I wanted to get that out the way. You know what I mean? I'm actually editing a video that talk about AI therapy. I got it. That's a great video. I'm actually looking forward to this one. This one's raw, unedited. Give you something genuine. You know what I mean? Just want to get this something out the way. Give a little some. But yeah, you're a lot of you aren't ready for what the women have to give you, and it's a lot of headaches. It takes a lot to prepare for a headache, bro. You know, with all the love and all the good times, the honeymoon stage, it inspires, amazing, it's good, but they will be balanced out with the big ass headache, and I need you to be prepared for that. You'll know if you're ready for that shit or not, and you'll know what you need to work on based on how you handle your first interaction or your first few disappointments with women. That's all I gotta say, bro. And I wish you have a good day, night, whenever you see this. I'm so thankful that you decided to take a chance on me, bro. You don't even know. Better days are coming. Believe me, believe in yourself.